A lot of our discussions on Root to Wisconsin are kind of like about life trajectories and the story behind the people, Obviously, music is central to your life.
Oh yeah.
What got you into it, man? How'd you start?
You know, early on when I was pretty young, I always enjoyed music. Mostly, I went to the Catholic church, that's where a lot of people experience music for the first time. Just always felt that kind of power of music. And then we started going to like things like the Valley Fair, and Wisconsin Valley Fair. And I remember one particular moment as being sort of pivotal in leading me into a deeper interest in music, and that was going to the fair in Marshfield, Wisconsin. I don't know what that's called. It might be like the Central Wisconsin Fair or something. I'm not sure. And Nitty Gritty Dirt Band was playing. And, of course, I loved Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, mostly at the time, probably just because of Fishing in the Dark, I would guess. But we went there as a family, and they had like an afternoon show, say maybe 3 o'clock or something. They had like a 7 o'clock show. So they did the 3 o'clock show, and we went, and they crushed it, and I was just mesmerized, just really adored it. And after they were signing autographs, and we were standing in line, I bought like one of those little old school, like a photo of the band, and they would sign it, and the line was quite long, and too long, and they decided that they wouldn't be able to sign autographs for everybody, and they hung it up. They said, "I'm sorry, we can't do this," and started walking back. We got to get ready for the next show. Well, I was really young. Like, I don't know if I was 6, 5, 6, somewhere in there. And I started crying, bawling my eyes out, And this guy, Jimmy Ibbotson is his name. Ibby, they call him for short. He, jumped this fence. He saw me crying, and he asked my mom, "Hey, can I just take him backstage and introduce him to the other guys quick?" And my mom's like, sure. So I went with this guy, Ibby, backstage. He took me and, introduced me to each person, and everybody signed the thing. He showed me their little tour bus, and he took me back to my mom. It was like the coolest thing ever, for a young kid, especially that type of wave of emotions. You're so sad, and then you're so elated to have got such a unique experience. And, we stayed for that nighttime show, and I believe, my parents would remember this better than I. This is like right at that beginning point of having memory, really, But I think I went back and I asked, to perhaps try to start playing guitar. And I think for Christmas they got me like a half-size guitar or whatever, and I just took to it right away. And it's just, music is one of them things that's kind of in you. For some people, it's always been in me. I've always felt it. I've always known it. Like, it just sort of innate to who I was, even like when I was super young. I just felt it.
Yeah.
And then tried to do lessons. I didn't like lessons. That was not my thing. Forced guitar playing, I didn't like any of that. And I stayed in it for a little bit, and then it became time for me to do some kind of recital. And my mom's like, "Hey, you got a recital in a week and a half over at the library." And I'm like, "I'm quitting. I'm not doing it." She's like, "Really? You don't want to play guitar anymore?" I'm like, "No, I want to play guitar. I just don't want to do lessons." She just thought, of course, thought that was the end of it. Well, then, apparently I came home from the library like a day later with all these books about how to play. And I learned out of the books, and then like internet tabs and internet sites and things like that. That was kind of right when the internet became more accessible, and that was that. Just, one thing led to another from between there and here, I suppose,